Well, hello, Twitter Spaces. This is Brandy Camacho with Developer Relations. I just want to say good morning, good day, good evening to all of you out there. We have a great talk today to chat with Huobi and discuss our efforts with our hackathon that we have coming up. We're super excited and we want to share more about what's going on, about the motivations, and also discuss the partnerships that we have in place, along with the opportunities for all the developers out there and the community. So we're super excited. I know it takes a few minutes for everybody to join in, so let's just allow another minute or two as people jump into the session, and then we'll kick off with an introduction, and we'll talk more about what's coming up. So thanks again for everybody joining in. Let's just give it a few more minutes to make sure everybody comes into the space. Okay, it looks like folks are joining in. Instead of just having silence here while we're waiting, I'm just going to go ahead and share a little bit about the additional purpose of this Twitter space today. So what I would love to do is take time today just to go over Huobi and our partnership. We're going to also discuss various sponsors, TKX, FBG, KuCoin, etc., all backers of the Celo ecosystem. We're going to also discuss about the trends of the ecosystem and what's happening now in the future of the space, the roles the investors play and how they support the Celo community. We're going to discuss additional opportunities. I think that we're in a good shape here to kick things off. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and just introduce a couple folks that are jumping in to discuss today. We have Lucas Liu, who's the Senior Research Manager at Huobi Incubator. Welcome. We have Will Wang, who's a partner and co-founder at TKX Capital. We're super excited to have you join us, Will. We have Chris Lee, partner and co-founder at TKX. Zian Zhang, the investment director at KuCoin Ventures. Lee Kuan, and so sorry if I incorrectly pronounced the names here, but you can jump in and do the intros. The Development Relationships Manager at Huobi Incubator. So glad to have all of you here today. I would love to kick things off and maybe share a little bit more about yourself and your role in the current hackathon, and also just moving forward in this space in regards to impact. Lucas, are you on board here?
Lucas. Hey guys, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks, Brandy. Yeah, this is Lucas here, and I'm the research manager of Huobi Incubator. And also being the judge of the Celo Huobi hackathon. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Lucas. So excited to have you. And Will, are you here? I'm trying to scroll through.
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, everyone.
Will, please kick off an intro.
Hey, my name is Will. Used to be the head of investment at Huobi. So hello, all the Huobi folks. We are so TKX is a fund that composed of secondary tradings as well as the primary investment, and Celo is actually one of our LPs. So we've been backing Celo, working very closely backing Celo projects providing liquidities. Do our best to help the ecosystem growth in the Celo communities.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Will. Chris, are you available?
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent.
So I'm from Huobi as well. I was former Huobi CFO, and in the first year exchange for 4 to 5 years, and also 6 years in payment industry as well. So I think it's because Celo is quite lots of project cover the payment. So I think that I get expertise to provide some kind of like their professional kind of advice to them. And also I went to Celo, Barcelona. It's really exciting, and the René shared the visionary kind of the ideas of Celo. I'm quite excited to participate this event, and we want to do as much as we can to contribute to the community. Thank you.
Excellent. And thank you so much, Chris. Yes, we had a blast in Barcelona, all fun things. Refi, right? Refi's coming up. It's happening now. So, and more on that to come here soon. And Zheng, we have Zheng available. Yes, Zheng, go ahead and do an intro and kick it off.
Yeah, all right. Okay, that's a very funny. Yeah, you pronounce my name quite funny. But anyway, it's
sorry.
It's all right. No worries. Yeah, I'm Zhen. I'm from KuCoin. Also cover strategic investments as well as financial investments. So I do both equity investments into sort of infrastructure companies, and also seed stage investments into the innovative projects that are token native. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And then next up we have Lee.
Hey, Brandy. It's Lou here.
Oh, Lulu. Yes. Nice.
Yeah, and so hi everybody. My name is Lu, and I'm from Huobi Incubator. And actually, we had this conversation with Brandy and Eric from Celo a couple months ago, and because we see this synergy between probably a centralized exchange and a wonderful Celo community that's focusing on like great opportunities in environment and so much more. And so, so my role is on the DAO relationship side, and I work with fantastic layer 1s and layer 2s, such as Celo network. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lou. And just so everybody knows, I have notes up on my computer. I'm trying to go off my notes, and pronouncing names is always challenging when you're trying to go through notes. So thank you for patience as you work with me through this. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and kick off the event. Lou, am I missing anybody else in regards to introductions here before we kick off our discussion points?
I think we have everybody here.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, so one of the biggest things I think all folks listening in should do is bookmark our hackathon. And one way to do that is go to celohobbyhack.com. That's celohobbyhack.com, where you can learn more about our hackathon. The theme of the hackathon is stablecoins and Web3 with a focus on sustainability. We have multiple tracks, everything from stablecoins and DApp solutions to DAOs to DeFi, and of course, with sustainable and mobile focus. So if you know anybody or if you yourself wants to join in, please share the site to go ahead and register, which is celohobbyhack.com. All right. And with that said, I think a good thing to kick things off here for questions to the participants is really like when we are thinking about working together. And Lou, this is probably something that would be good for you to address, since we started really early on and we started getting excited about building the relationship to provide opportunity in the space, especially with the focus on stablecoins. I think that's a good time to go ahead and kick that off. Like, Lou, from your side, why is it that stablecoins are exciting for you and Huobi in the future of the community at large?
Yeah, so I'll probably just take this first, and Lucas, you can add on more, because this is like collective decision here. So first of all, like we like everybody probably here knows that Celo is about stablecoin, and so as we take interest in this community and the network. So we, I think one thing that we have to focus is on like how the stablecoin is like applied to like use cases or are used. So as of right now, and what we can do, I know that there are some like situations and crashes of stablecoin like recently, but we do believe there is like innovation to stablecoins itself. And so that's kind of where we started. And from an incubator and exchange perspective, so we do have stablecoin pairs, for example, as like strategy priority for us. Because you know, like Huobi exchange, we have this I think wonderful liquidity for the stables related pairs on our exchange, and so we want to like support more users on that. So that's one thing we want to partner with Celo. And for others, like from an early stage investor perspective, we do think that there is more to explore. On top of the like wonderful like use cases already there in the community, for example, like financial aggregators, and probably some like GameFi plus DeFi, or like DeFi plus Web3. I think those are all could be built on the like stablecoin itself. So yeah, I think that's kind of where we built this relationship and eventually put all this together into a hackathon opportunity.
Yes, excellent. Yeah, and Celo is a layer one, and a stablecoin is part of our core platform. It's within our core contracts, built into our protocol for access, and we have many opportunities in regards to interfacing with stablecoins. They're more than just ways to hedge against value in the space. Like you can do things with data, you can pay with transaction fees, and in the world of refi, we're looking at regenerative finance, and stablecoins can help facilitate and bolster the regenerative finance ecosystem, which we're obviously a large participant. So we're so proud to be here with Huobi and really working on meaningful use cases, right? That's the purpose of these hackathons, is really to build exposure, support the community, and mature the space. And every time that we do this together as a community, we come up with new innovative approaches to providing value. And I think that's one thing that I love the most, is that there's such diversity. And yes, this last couple of weeks was interesting, but it shows the resilience of like Celo community coming together. Our stable coins have been quite resilient, backed by a collateralized reserve. So much there. We're very transparent and fully available for all folks to dig into, going to docs.celo.org. So if you want to learn more about the stable coins and the lower level functionality of the text, please visit our docs. So docs.celo.org. And then there you can go ahead and search by keywords. Okay, so I believe, Will, did you want to chime in that in regards to your future outlook of stablecoins, how these provide opportunity in the space from your point of view?
Yeah, sure. I still remember I had this conversation with Alex last year during Christmas. Basically, we had the same point of view. The algorithmic design of stablecoin will reach some sort of bottleneck in terms of securities, right? Eventually, when the capital, the dumping pressure on the ecosystem is going large enough, and this collateral you have to back it up is not enough, you will it will break the pack, and that happened like 4 months after we had that conversations. So take a step back. I like the Celo's model because it's not only backed by Celo, the native currency. It also has a buckets of other assets in that bucket as a collateral that actually provides a more stable and more safe reserve compared to what happened to Luna. On the other hand, I think stablecoin is a very important infrastructure for eventually massive adoption usage of blockchain technology. Because think about what's the largest more transaction volume that did in centralized finance, which is, I think, is payment, right? Like we're using payment every day, and with something that's very with something like Bitcoin's, Ethereum, that's like fluctuating on like up, down 10% on a daily basis. That kind of volatility is not usable for payments, right? Not even for dailies. Like cash in, cash out type of payments. So I think stablecoin is very essential. And on the other hand, what I like about Celo ecosystem is it has the mobile first aspect of it. And we're seeing mobile payments changing the world right now. It's shaping the way how we pay, how we interact with our financial institutions, how we banks. So it lays a very strong foundations with for future I would say Web3 3 players to join. So we'll have to wait and see. It's going to take time, but we just have to wait and see. And with the Celo's foundations and the technology, the stable coins, everything combined together, I think the platform, the ecosystem has a lot of potential. Is that it just takes some time, maybe take another cycles, maybe take a joint effort between capitals, exchanges, liquidities, all the parties join together. I think we can pick something very useful for everyone in the near future.
Yes, well said. So I'm really curious with that coming together. That's the thing that I love most about Web3. So many communities that have formed over time, building resilience to move the needle and push innovation forward. Now, you mentioned that the stable coins they're innovative in regards to the way to protect against volatility. Like that's definitely one area. And there's some unique, interesting use cases out there, like with DAOs, right? And DAOs need to create mechanisms for reserves to manage their participations in their communities and how they're going to innovate on their projects. I'm just curious, from your point of view, where do you see stablecoins and DAOs, and how important is it from your perspective that DAOs utilize stablecoins?
Yeah, I think DAO is a management system behind what we call decentralized organizations, right? It's more like put this way: if stablecoin is the reserve, the Federal Reserve, then DAO is the committee members that's sitting on top of the Federal Reserve that controlling the interest rates and how we do the quantitative easings. Like if we reach that kind of scale, right? So I think DAO is critical for us to have a fully decentralized monetary system, and it's something that actually gives back the power of monetizing policies to the community members. I think that's very important, because when you're applying game theories to the DAO, DAO is adopting the game theories, right? So it preventing people doing things that's negative impacting the stablecoin, the ecosystem, because nobody's going to benefit from that. So it's more, I think it's a very intelligent or advanced mechanisms to manage reserve that actually benefits the mass, right? It's not like what we have right now, Federal Reserve just keep printing monies. I don't think that's benefiting anyone at this moment. It's just maybe helping the politicians, but in the mass scales that we're seeing right now is hyperinflation, right? We're experiencing 9% of inflation this year. I don't think that's helpful.
Excellent. Yep. Yes. The best thing that we have in front of us is that we have lessons learned, and we keep on iterating. And the best part about development is to iterate effectively. And so I look at what happened recently in the stablecoin community is there's lessons learned, and it also shows the power of having transparency, right? Like developers committing their time to the Web3 space, when they're building solutions, they need that transparency and that openness to the information, so they can make great decisions. And clearly, that's going to help out DAOs moving forward as well, because that's the purpose of DAOs, right? To provide greater visibility for the community. Okay, so what I would like to do is segue over to Chris. So Chris, this question is going to be for you. So what got you interested in the Celo ecosystem? And when you look at our hackathon that we have, what tracks most excite you?
I think our vision of Celo's vision is to connect billions of people. I think that there's some kind of keywords is linked together. I think it's quite sexy to me, like wallets, mobile phones, and payments, and can solve all the existing efficiency in the market. So when I attended the conference in Barcelona, actually the couple of projects they were doing is on and off ramp, how to convert the fiat to crypto. I think there as a stablecoin like CUSD, and later days probably Europe or in other currency. I think that would be sexy. And again, I just in addition to Will's comment about the DAO, I have a bit of idea between the DAO and also centralized kind of organization taking care about the stablecoin. It would be something like the CX, for example, the CX and DEX. So both actually different function. CX would be more like high liquidity, more efficient, quicker, and somebody going to take the responsibility to take care of the execution. But DAO would be more like the smart contract, and we'd be more like advanced people to use this kind of DAO or the kind of swap kind of function. So I hope I can see more like different kind of like centralized kind of organization do some kind of apps, wallets, and run up offline and do the connectivity of different applications and function. So basically, I hope is there's some kind of project provide the fund flow and connect the fiats through the mobiles and connect to our daily life, and in the form of like some kind of tokenized kind of like the projects would be much better than the equity, because there are lots of startups in our ecosystem. It tends to more like the equity deal. So I would I would love to see if like the keywords like wallets, mobile payment, connectivity, and in the form of like tokenized with proper tokenomics to fill those ecosystems. I think that's the most sexy part to me.
Yeah, certainly exciting. I would love, on that note, what your thoughts are on the importance of user experience and where we're at with user experience from your point of view. And also, if you don't mind, touch base on what you would like to see in regards to developers in the space building now that are attending our hackathon. What's your vision in regards to the user experience moving forward? Since you mentioned the power of wallets and the power of mobile, I would love to get your thoughts on the user experience side.
I think it's an easy access. That's very important. When I see a lot of projects in African countries, there are lots, even those that I think you have to provide some kind of mission to bank those unbanked population. I think that's a vision of Celo as well. So, and the smartphone is pretty cheap. I think when we see those kind of like people doing the remittance, like Western Union, this kind of like they charge a lot, money, and its user experience is very bad. They hold the money for, a couple of days, a week, and they charge like 10% for the cut. So, in terms like the network or the community of that project can function it, and also with some sort of compliance. I mean, compliance is very important in payment. So when I talk to some projects, I think definitely there's some kind of like issue in compliance part. So how to use technology part to work with connect with the fiat in a compliance way, like the KYC, AML, documentations. I think that's quite important. So I think again is more like the accessibility, efficiency, and compliance. And those kind of keywords that what we focus.
And together, those ultimately build a better user experience. All these lower level functions, even KYC, it's ultimately there in regards to a process. And the better that we communicate as a community, the more interactive we are, the greater maturity we have in these processes, which streamlines how KYC is and makes it more universal. So I'm looking forward to the future of the user experience of Web3. I think it's going to be quite normal to have a blended experience that seems seamless to the end user. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely excited about the future. Thank you very much for the insight on that. Zenon, I'm so sorry about if I'm saying your name wrong. Can you share with me how to pronounce it? And I'll correct myself. I'm so sorry.
Now you're doing it right.
Okay, thank goodness. Thank you for working with me. Hey, I had to get up early in the morning for this on my side, so took me a minute. I would love to hear your thoughts. Like, what got you interested in Celo, and when it comes to like the hackathon that we're doing all together, what tracks interest you the most, and what's your advice to the community out there?
I think, I mean, obviously, what happened last week about Luna made us think about stablecoins and what is the real use of a cryptocurrency. And so actually, if you see all the ecosystem that we have today, DeFi, GameFi, SocialFi, NFTs, right? Much of this is just financial uses. So DeFi is used to facilitate transactions between different protocols, different tokens. They're not actually generating value for the user if there's no ecosystem. So I mean, financial uses are usually a derived use based on the actual value generations. So what remains, like in today's world, the cryptocurrency world, several true use cases. Number one is payment, because you use cryptocurrencies to solve a real problem that's been prevalent in a lot of the countries. especially like cross-border remittances. If you're in a country that have depreciating currency for the past decade, then you might want to hold something else. So payments and storage of value, those are real usages. And of course, the NFTs, they serve as a ticket into some sort of a community. I think NFTs are actually providing some sort of value, but there are a lot of other sectors. The value is not very clear today. But so the point is, payment is a real value, real usage value for cryptocurrency. And then if you think about, I mean, how Celo is different from other main blockchains, right? You have we have Neo, we have Harmony, we have Solana, we have Ethereum. Everyone serves their own unique purpose. But I think how Celo stands out is you guys wants to build a ultralight client, which is really about decentralization, and decentralization matters because, I mean, even for Ethereum, for the previous phase of Ethereum, you have to, I mean, there's no small miners. You have to have some sort of a lot of GPUs for you to be able to mine cryptocurrency meaningfully. And then in the next phase, you have to hold at least 32 Ethereum, which is not a lot of money, but that still serves as a pretty high entry barrier. So the true decentralization, which means is decentralized. Decentralization means, I think it means kind of equivalently to security. So if you can really access a blockchain network with mobile phones, with very light nodes, and that you can use your everyday computer, that you can use even your iPhones, your Samsungs, and then I think that will be able to attract the next billion people into this blockchain world. So I think that is kind of important. And also something else to think about is stable coins, right? So last week, what happened to Luna made us think that where stable coins are going. I think, I mean, algorithm stable coins, I mean, they are all vulnerable to huge sharks or huge whales attacking the ecosystem. I mean, the reason why Luna, I would say defaulted, but Luna went to almost zero was because there was a short-term liquidity. I mean, different people may have different opinions, but it's just my opinion that there was a short-term liquidity drain in one of the pools, and then there was I think it was a planned attack on the Luna protocol. So everything, I mean, even if you build on algo stable coins in the future, every single protocol that's built on algorithm is going to have the same vulnerability. And the regulators, the compliance people, I mean, their purpose is to protect the consumers. So whenever there's a vulnerability, even though it might be a small probability that the protocol is going to be attacked, but they still, if you think in the shoes of the SEC, CFTC, they still going to think that this is too risky for everyone to participate. So I think stable coins backed by real usable currency, real assets, my personal opinion, is the way to go. You can't just peg it off a algorithm that will automatically adjust itself when the market goes up or down. That's still a bit risky. So I think what happened last week, and also I think Luna, the case about Luna was a trigger that made us think where the future is going, instead of, okay, this is all a rosy picture. Everything is going so well, so we just need to go back to the fundamentals. Like, what is a real case of use case of cryptocurrency, and what is the value of each protocol, of each layer one, and what is the niche market that is targeting. So I think Celo, ultralight client, a payment use case, and then a stable coin that will actually be used backed by different local currencies. I think you have USD, you have Euro, and some other some other stable coins as well. So I think those are real use cases, and if you can really deliver this ultralight client to the next billion people, this can be a big thing. And the reason we want to support the hackathon is we also want to participate in if this possible can be a new ecosystem for the next 1 billion or 2 billion people. We want to be in the front row for that sort of innovation and market participation.
Yes, well said. So I just want to address like the elephant in the room. We've all talked about it. Luna, the last week was chaotic. You know, I want to specifically address Celo, right? Like I have a bias here with Celo. I just want to address it because I think a lot of folks here on the call and elsewhere, they hear stablecoin and they hear algorithmic and they think they're all the same, but that's just not true. When you're a layer one, the advantage of being a layer one is that you get the opportunity to shape and mold the platform to the community's needs, and you get to iterate often, and the community gets to participate, and it's a sandbox that fosters growth. And with Celo, we're definitely unique because we're focused on social good, right? It's like our mission is to provide prosperity for all, and we also thoroughly invest in regenerative economy. And so we have our efforts in regenerative finance, refi. We invest in things like we have partnership with Climate Collective. When it comes to our stablecoin, it's algorithmic, yes. And there's a lot of power with an algorithmic stablecoin. Like this is something that over time, it continues to mature too. And the community is a large participant in that. We are over cloudized right now. Like our stable coins, and each of them, when you look at it, we have offerings with CUSD, we have CReal and CEuro, and more to come. Right? It's up to the governance of the system and the community participate to submit a proposal for additional stable coins. But they're backed by our reserve, and our reserve is transparent. I believe it's reserve.celo.org, and you can actually view what's happening with the stable coins and the way that we have the assets protected by over-collateralization. And I think that's a big difference from what happened with Luna during this last downfall. And I also want to remind everybody is like everything that's great in tooling, like when tech, the definition of tech is advancement in tooling. And that's exactly what we're doing in blockchain. Like we're building tools, meaningful tools. When you look at the history of innovation and just in general, you look at things like in the traditional banking sectors, like when we started using horses and carriages to transport, the very first thing that happened was advancements in transportation using horses, and you know there was folks that tried to rob those horses and carriages, and then the banking system then, like Wells Fargo at that time period, went ahead and learned those lessons and started adding security in place. You know, I see that trend happening no matter what, from the history to current trends now, and that's what we're doing, right? It's unfortunate what happened with Luna, but the fantastic after effect is the lessons learned. How we better can think about ways to promote growth and security, how we can utilize things like the algorithmic stablecoins to actually provide stability in a trustless environment where you don't need to trust anyone. You know that the stablecoin is going to be sufficient for your needs. And also these stablecoins, they're utility power. They're more than just protecting against volatility. Like I believe blockchain has huge potential in regards to the way that we look at data in general, and NFTs, like the future of NFTs, it's utilizing data with real world things, and that's quite powerful and something that I think is amazing as an opportunity for developers all around. Is when we think about what that next super cycle looks like for growth stage in the blockchain space and Web3. How can we better utilize data to provide better user experiences with real world value? And stablecoin certainly does help facilitate with that use case. And also with Celo, like what I love best about our stablecoin is that you don't have to have a Celo utility token to participate on the network to transact. If you have a stablecoin, any of them, you can pay your transaction fees in those stable coins, and that simplifies the user experience. They don't have to do another transaction. If they have an asset available and they want to transact or interface, those risks are now mitigated in regards to the user experience. Thus, it has been improved. So I'm definitely bullish on the future, and it's unfortunate what happened to Luna, but do look into these stablecoin. Like when you're going to go ahead and participate in these in the stablecoins, no matter where they come from, what the source is, it's like you should know what that source is. You should understand what it's doing, and you should dig in and learn about it. And something that I love about Celo and the community at large is the transparency. We take pride in providing that transparency. So with that, does anybody else here want to address the elephant in the room with Luna and move forward? You think that what I said was good enough? Let me know. What's your thoughts? Lou? Okay, we'll move forward. All right, so well, Lou, if you don't mind, I'm gonna ask you this question. So what is the most interesting trend and opportunity that you see in the space?
Okay, so maybe Lucas, do you want to take this question? Oh, I don't think he's there. So what was the question again? Sorry, Brandy.
No worries, no worries. So what interesting trends do you see? What opportunities do you see, especially like just in the future in general for the developers out there building in the hackathon and the opportunities? What's your vision?
Yeah, got it. And so like what I'm really excited about this community is that like as an like investor, we do see some promising signs. And so like personally, I actually have this career like background in ESG. So like naturally, I like Celo because like what you guys are doing about the climate change and regenerative finance, that's one thing that not only for me, but our team is like keen to follow because I think as of right now, ESG is kind of an important issue in the traditional finance, but actually blockchain technology has this like unique advantages just to bring more like value and to just make things probably easier on track. And so that's something like we add this like special track to this hackathon. So to welcome all developers to contribute their ideas to see how can we just internalize this externalities of this environment. So that's one thing we definitely like care about. And also like last time, so we talked to Eric about this ZK technology. I know you guys are in an alliance right now that are kind of promoting zero knowledge related studies and research and applications. And I think Huobi Ventures and Incubator, I think we follow that trend closely as well. So we keep close tabs with some of the like cutting edge teams, like really down to the research and theories. And so if those of the teams that bump into our hackathon or like we're happy to see to appear more often like in the community. So that's probably things that excite me most.
Amazing. So you mentioned about teams and builders building in the space. What from your point of view, what creates an interesting team? What's your advice to teams that are looking to form, grow? Share your insights. I think it'd be helpful for the community and the existing teams out there.
Yeah, and so I think for us, like motivation is always the key, is all about the team itself. And so like we talk to like many teams out there, like for like funding, but other kind of resources. So we see that if they have like a clear vision of, so they know that what they're doing. So that's kind of the starting point to kind of provide the kind of resources and support to them, and to like make our like collaborations and investment like outside of only just make money, because those are the teams that we see have like higher chances of success. And so that's what we do expect, like probably from our interactions and communications with some of the teams that we run into in our upcoming hackathon. Yeah, I do believe like there are chances that we have this communications, because stay tuned, we have these like amazing core sessions and supplemental sessions, so I'll be like readily available for you guys. And so yeah, that's kind of the key where we look at. But like more to that, we also like have this established like criteria, but it's we'll evaluate like case by case.
Excellent. Yes, I'm definitely excited. I'm also excited about the opportunities. Something that Huobi did that I thought was very unique is providing support to the projects. One of the core fundamentals when we were establishing the planning of the hackathon to kick it off was how we can provide better opportunities, right, to developers for meaningful impact. And what I love the most is the token listing offering. I think this token listing and the exposure, the support by investors. What's your advice, Will? And this is probably a question I would love to get insight from Will on here. What's your advice to those teams that are forming? They're looking to make an impact. They want to get listed on an exchange, and they want to make a meaningful experience for user of Web3. What's your advice to those teams, Will? Oh.
I think it's first reviews is a VPN issue. So it's are you just talking about what the criteria or the support or the criteria what we look at the projects want to list in CX? Is that's your question?
Oh no, my question was on the back end of what Lou was just sharing about interesting trends and opportunities. One amazing opportunity for teams that are forming in the hackathon, or they're about to form, or folks listening now that haven't formed but they're planning to join. We have some fantastic offerings in regards to support as they go through the hackathon experience. One of the offers is to be able to gain support for a token listing. And when we look at these teams that are highly motivated, right? And Lou touched base on the importance of being motivated. And these teams are highly motivated to be impactful. They're envisioning their token being launched. They're super excited. They're trying to make an impact. What's your advice to those teams? How do they what's your advice in regards to leveling up the experience to gain the interest of investors, to get the support needed so they can bring their project to the next level?
Yeah, good question. I think View can speak now.
Yeah. Right. So in terms of listing, it's something like you need to consider, why do you need to get listed, right? First of all, the reason you need to get listed is because you need the secondary liquidities, right? A lot of projects, until it reaches a certain stage, listing is not required for it, right? So when you have the second question projects have to think about is that when do we need the listing, right? in my previous experience is that you need listing when you have a product, when you have communities, when you have a demand for your tokens, and when there's more people that's trying to get your tokens, and when you need the publicities to grow the communities, to bring more impact of your projects to the larger audience. So that's when the time that you actually need to speak to an exchange, like Huobi, for example. That will be the time, right? At the very beginning of the projects, you need to be more careful about your token design, your product, then the secondaries. And once you get listed on exchanges, what you need to think about is that how are you incentivizing like people from like how are you using the opportunities to grow your potential user base, right? This is not the time that you said, hey, I get on exchanges so I can get liquidity so I can cash out. That's not what exchange is about. Exchanges is about how you can leverage that publicity, leverage that liquidity to bring your products to the next level. And that's actually what attracts value investor in the crypto space.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Yes. So token economics is still very important. If you're planning on getting listed, it needs to be thought out well. Super good advice. Thank you so much, Will. So is Lucas on the call now? I know that they dropped off. I was trying to see if he's jumped back in. Lucas, are you there? No. Ah, bummer. Okay. Well, we'll just move forward here. We're getting towards the end. So if anybody here, I believe there's a way for folks to go ahead and raise your hand if you have a question for anybody here that's been chatting this whole time and you want to ask. This is probably a good time for you to raise your hand. We'll be paying attention. In the meantime, we'll just move the conversation forward. But I do want to share that we have a few minutes left. So, Lou, if you don't mind, I think it's a good time to share a little bit more about your organization and the value it brings to the ecosystem, right? And the long-term vision in regards to the impact that Huobi's making.
Yeah, of course. And so I think as a co-host of this Celo Huobi hackathon, so we do think about like what we can offer to benefit the community and devs that are interested in the Celo ecosystem and as well as Huobi Exchange, because we have like a map of business as well. And so I think in this unique combination for this hackathon event, we're going to provide, first of all, like the grants. So like the Celo Foundation and us will have like attractive prizes for our winning teams. And also as like early investor, we're going to provide investment together with wonderful like capitals that has been backing the Celo developers and community. So that's one thing. And also what's special for us coming in, so we're going to have this express listing opportunities. So we have five of them. So I think for no matter you're the champion, the grand prize winner, or you are the track winners, or you are the winner of the climate bonus. So I think you are entitled to express listing at Huobi Exchange. And so, yeah, that's kind of the in this specific event. But in terms of the long-term vision. So as Brandy has mentioned, so we came into this ecosystem and just met friends with you guys and get to know who are building what on this ecosystem. So so most importantly, as an incubator, what we can offer is incubation support. So what we do is that we kind of offer this 0 to 1 customized incubation effort to utilize like what as an exchange or investor resources network. So for example, if you are beginning a very early stage and you don't know, you have this great idea, but you don't know about this product market fit or the product design on the tech side. So we can help with that. And then probably later when your project is in shape and you are focusing on the scaling solutions or like the growth patterns, we are strong about this digital marketing and community building. And also like further down the road, probably you seek for like larger market appeals. And so you want to go for listing, whether it's a centralized exchange or the like IDO platforms, because we're well connected with PoolZ or like Polkastarter and DAO Maker and such. And so that's what we can definitely help as well. And so just it really depends on like the roadmap and goals of the individual teams, and we as like strategic partner, as we hope we to be, to kind of figure out together and offer the right kind of resources. Thank you.
Amazing. And it's a testament to our efforts, Lou. That's something I love about working with you and the Huobi team. It's just the focus on supporting the developers and their projects more than just the hackathon in itself. Like hackathon is a great way to get exposure and gain entry into the community and iterate on your project. But the best part about it is the experience and the support you get that happens after the hackathon. So developers out there, it's never just the goal to get to the end of the hackathon and win it. It's always about what those next steps are, and it's about iterating and building effectively. And you're getting a ton of support. So, Lou, thank you so much for your time. I know we're at the end of the call here. Zenon, thank you. Chris, Will, Lucas, really appreciate all you jumping in, and all the folks here that joined in to listen. I just want to say a big thank you for joining our discussion. And we're excited about the hackathon. It's registration's open now. Once again, the best way to find out more about the hackathon to go to celohobbyhack.com. That's celohobbyhack.com. You'll also see links posted between Huobi and ourselves at Celo. So stay tuned. The official kickoff for the hackathon is May 23rd. It's going to last till June 24th. We are having various events, and we look forward to the community participation in this. And our goal is to foster growth, and we're doing that jointly with Huobi. And it's just an exciting time. And I just want to close with a big thank you to everybody. Thank you so much for attending, and it was a pleasure to be here with you today.
I think
Thank
we have
you.
one more. Lucas wants to say a word.
Oh, well, Lucas is here? Oh my goodness. Lucas, go ahead, jump on in.
Sorry, it's just drop off. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty excited about this hackathon. Celo is building this like mobile first platform. And accessible to anyone with a smartphone. It's a powerful and easy to access blockchain platform. And like we are co-hosting the hackathon event to help build the Web3 landscape. Like whether you are like an experienced blockchain developer or like you're from the Web2 world and kind of just looking inside this new thing, where you are all welcome. And we have got this amazing welcome track, all the seminars like mentor, you can get help. So just thank you, and good luck to all the developers, all the builders join this community. Thank you.
Excellent. Well said. And the plug to join the community, join the Celo Discord, Celo org Discord. You can gain access to that by visiting Celo.org. We have a link to get to our Discord. Also, when you go to celohobbyhack.com and you register, you'll go through the process, which will give you instructions to gain access to our Discord. We're all in there, so we're there to support and foster the growth with each other. So amazing, and welcome back, Lucas. It was good to hear from you. With that, we are at the end of the hour here. It was super fun hanging out. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks again.